What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of PvP Legacy. Have you ever wondered what the best Minecraft settings were? No? Well, I did. And after some careful research, I found that there's nothing. That I couldn't find anything depicting what the best Minecraft settings were. So today, I myself set out on a journey to figure out what the best Minecraft settings were. Well actually, I'm just gonna give you a bunch of options to look at, and you can pick which ones you prefer. But it sounds cool if I say the best Minecraft settings because it just looks good in the title. Okay, I swear. And primarily for this video, I'm only going to focus on the DPI of your mouse and the in-game sense. So whatever the DPI of your mouse is, I will adjust the in-game sense accordingly. Get out of my shot. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Alright, so to start us off, we have at 800 DPI. Alright, 800 DPI is a pretty good, Goldilocks zone for me. I like 800 DPI. It's a really good starting point. I think it's also, a simple, standard for mice to be at 800 DPI. I mean, of course, you can, change it otherwise. But for me, I like 800 DPI. And for Minecraft, a sensitivity between, drumroll please, 60% to 80%. That's right, from 60% to 80%, I believe, is your Goldilocks zone for Minecraft sensitivities. And, well, because it's just really good, alright? Because anywhere below 60% just feels slow. I even went as low as 50% to 55%, and it just felt really slow, and I was just kind of missing all of my hits, which is something you don't want to do. And anything above 85% starts to get pretty quick, especially if you start playing at a 90%, which I can't believe I used to play at 90% at 800 DPI. I was a madman. No wonder I missed all of my shots. But yeah, anywhere between 60% to 80% is your Goldilocks zone. Of course, you can adjust accordingly in between if you want to go with a 75 or a 65. Hell, you could even go 85% if you really feel like it. But primarily for 800 DPI, you want to stick around, at least in my opinion, in my research that I've done, you want to stick around 60% to 80%. Alright, next up we have 1600 DPI. At 1600 DPI, I found that anywhere between 33% to 50% was pretty good. Anywhere below 30% started to feel slow. Anywhere above 50% was feeling too fast. I wasn't used to being at 600 DPI, but it's actually not that abnormal for people to use this kind of DPI. It's a bit on the higher end, definitely, but it's not too bad. It only just doubles 800 DPI, which, again, not by a whole lot. The 600 DPI, 1600 DPI isn't unplayable, but it is definitely a lot faster than, especially what I'm used to. But if you're used to higher DPI senses, then you'll rejoice that anywhere between 33% to 50% would be your Goldilocks zones for DPI. Next up, we have 2500 DPI. Jesus. Why would you ever want to play at 2500 DPI? You have no reason to be playing at this sensitivity. Just why? Why would you ever want to play at this? Whatever. I'm here to answer your questions, and you will have your questions answered. So at 2500 DPI, I would recommend somewhere around 15% to 30%. These are the better senses. Anywhere below 15% starts to feel slow. You get the gist of how things go here. Anything above 30% starts to feel really fast. 15-30% was the Goldilocks zone that I found, but also just the inventory management, just because your in-game sense doesn't affect your inventory mouse speed. That's just your regular DPI. So just trying to get to my items because they're already really close together, and just having my mouse zip across my screen at just light years of speed. It's it was really hard to properly manage my inventory. However, I wasn't too bad. It was actually very playable. Of course, yeah, I had to play it 15 to 30% or somewhere in between to get it to a playable point. However, it's not too bad if you decide to, for whatever reason, play at 2500 DPI. Alright, so to switch things up a little bit, we've been going higher up on the DPI, so let's see what it's like to be on the lower end of the DPI. So we have 350 DPI on the mouse. This is absurd. This is really slow. If you play on really low DPI, and honestly, if you play on a DPI that's less than 800, you need to be studied, alright? You need to be locked up. You need to, like, have mental therapy, because why would you condemn yourself to such torture? Why would you ever want to swipe multiple times to reach anything? Listen, you need help. But if you do play on these sensitivities, what I found was that somewhere between 90% to 120% would be your Goldilocks area for in-game sensitivities. Again, if you play on these DPIs, you need to be you need to be studied, and you need to stop primarily. You can't torture yourself like this. But if you decide that, hey, maybe I would like to torture myself today, I would recommend playing at a 90 to 120, because at least the game is playable. However, your inventory management is going to suck, because it took me like multiple swipes just to reach my golden carrots. My golden carrots! Just so I could eat up a little bit, which I never actually use, but if I were to eat those, I would have them there. But just to get them into my hotbar, it took multiple swipes of my mouse, which is absurd. No one should ever play on these low sensitivities. Just why would you ever condemn yourself to such torture? And that's primarily it. That's basically all that I could really cover, except I got two more for you. That's right, we ain't done just yet. Alright, so in my software, that's right, I have a software because I have a Glorious mouse, so I have like the Glorious software settings. I have a choice to either go as high of a DPI or as low as a DPI as I could possibly manage, and that's exactly what I did, and it sucked. I would not recommend doing this. However, for the sake of this video, I did it anyway, and here's how it went. Oh boy. 100 DPI. Yeah, no, this was not fun at all. But for whatever reason, if you decide to play on 100 DPI, here's what you have to do. First, you have to crawl your mouse all the way to the sensitivity slider and slowly bring it all the way up to hyperspeed, which is 200%. And then once you do that, you get this really cool effect on your screen where it feels like you're having an aneurysm or you're about to crash out from having too much caffeine. Like, the screen was violently shaking and I was barely, like, inputting little to no movement. It was awful. I would not recommend playing on hyperspeed sensitivity with a 100 DPI. It was just not the greatest time at all. It was so bad. Like, it didn't even matter if I went lower than hyperspeed. The screen was just violently shaking. It wasn't fun. I do not recommend. Don't ever use these settings. But don't you worry, we're not done just yet. Nope, we still got one more to go. Alright, so at 19,000 DPI. Oh. The fact that this is an option scares me. Why would anyone, for whatever reason, want to play at 19,000? Why is this an option? Why would anyone want to use this? Why? Why? If you decide to play at anywhere, like the highest DPI your mouse can go, you need help. You need therapy, my friends. But if you do decide to do this, you have to just play at the lowest. And even then, it's still just really, really fast. You have to play at yawn, which I kind of... Is it like 1%? I don't know. I don't know the exact percentage, but it's really, really slow. And with 19,000 DPI, it makes it seem as if it's normal, which isn't a good thing. And you also kind of get this really cool effect on your screen where everything feels slow and wobbly, which is really cool. I don't know if it's just me. Maybe I'm just dehydrated. I'm just getting like delusional from testing out settings, but who knows? Who knows? But again, don't ever play on this settings. It's not well recommended at all. Anyway, let's go to the PvP links. Hope you guys did enjoy. I hope you guys found the perfect DPI to in-game sense, or however you're supposed to say that. I just really don't want to do this again. Once I got to the higher end and the lower ends of the DPI, it sucked, and I don't want to do that again. So yeah, I hope I never have to. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.